I did. I'll admit, man, I did spray him with bee killer because I was afraid of the guy, man. He's fucking like bigger than you know. So I'm a little guy, man. I do admit I did spray him with bee killer because I was afraid for my life. He told me he's going to kill me.
Okay.
All right. And then he grabbed me and he just beat the shit out of me. He bit me in my finger. And then he just beat me in my head with a pipe, man. And I just balled up, really. I should have just gotten out of there then, you know, because I had him a little bit blinded, so I could have gotten the heck out of there, and that's what I probably should have done, but... Okay.
Okay, as I stated, my name is Colleen DeGraff. I represent the accused, Mr. Van Gile, in this case. Mr. Joy represents the state of Florida, and we have Madam Victim Advocate here to support you, but not to give you answers or for you to look to her for answers, okay? She's just simply here for your support, and that's her function, okay? She's not going to interject in any way, and I know she's not going to. She doesn't. I know her to be that kind of person, so, and neither is Mr. Joy. But a deposition is an opportunity for myself, as well as Mr. Joy, to ask you questions about your involvement in this matter, okay? Beyond what maybe law enforcement has asked you, maybe some of the same questions law enforcement has asked you. If you don't know the answer to a question, that's perfectly fine. If you don't remember the answer to a question, that's perfectly fine. We'll work through it. I don't want you guessing. I don't want you speculating, nothing of that nature, because as you know, you're under oath at this point. And guesses and speculations really aren't what you remember. They're just that. They're guesses, okay? If you think that it is the best guess of yours, you can start a sentence by that. My best guess would be this. My best guess would be that. That's fine. We'll work through it, okay? Have you ever given a deposition before?
No.
Okay. Have you ever been charged with a crime before?
Yes.
When was that?
Maybe 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
Okay. And what was that for?
Possession charge.
Possession of what?
Marijuana.
Do you remember if you were in county court or felony court?
County court.
Okay.
It was just a ticket, really.
Okay. So they just told you to come to court. Yeah. Okay. Any other arrests?
18 years ago, maybe 20.
Okay. What was that for?
Assault upon a senior citizen, my mother's husband.
I need you to keep your voice up a little bit because this is being recorded. You said an assault on like the elderly?
Yes, it was my mother's husband. He had struck her, so I had in turn struck him.
Okay. What happened with that case?
It was dismissed.
Anything else?
Not really. I mean, just no.
Not really? What do you mean by not really?
There was like one other possession charge, but that was maybe 8 years ago. And that was just a fine.
Well, did you have to go to court for it?
Yes.
Okay. So did you pay a fine and you entered a plea for that?
Yeah, I played no contest.
Okay.
I probably still owe for the fine, but.
Okay. Anything else that you can think of?
No.
Okay. And where do you live, sir?
I live at 1338 Barefoot Circle in Barefoot Bay, Florida.
And you said your date of birth was what again? I'm sorry?
6/3/74.
Thank you. I forgot to write it down. And are you employed?
Yes.
Where do you work?
I work for myself.
Okay. Doing what?
Landscaping and move furniture.
And do you reside with anybody?
Yes, I live with my mom.
Okay. And her name?
Judith Hoffman.
Hoffman spelled just the way it sounds?
Yep, Hoffman.
And how long have you been a Brevard County resident?
22 years.
Were you in another county before that or another state?
Another state, New Hampshire.
Okay. Any arrests or crimes in New Hampshire?
Yeah, I got a couple of other kids for fighting.
Okay. Anything else?
Not that I remember.
Okay. Now, who's Toby?
He's a friend of mine. He was a neighbor. I was going over his house, actually. I was on my way to his home when the incident happened.
Where does he live?
He lives on Cashew Circle, but the backside of his house is on Pinewood.
Was he there when this incident happened?
No, I was going over his house to visit and watch TV and, smoke inside his house. So we smoked cigarettes outside. So I was hoping that he was outside. So that's why I was screaming for him, because I was only maybe 60 or 80 feet from his house.
Oh. Okay. So you were going over there at midnight?
Yeah, we were watching some TV.
Who called whom?
What do you mean?
Who called? How did you arrange to meet up at midnight?
Oh, he called me.
Okay. Is this ordinary that you would go over at such an hour?
Yeah.
Okay. Was there anything specific you were going to watch on TV?
Yeah, we were going to watch wrestling.
Okay. So you said he lives on Cashew, but the back of his house faces Pinewood.
Correct.
Okay.
There's a garage on Pinewood side.
And what were you traveling in? Were you on foot, in a car?
I was in a golf cart,
Okay. What kind of golf cart?
an Easy Go,
Color?
white.
Is that your golf cart?
Yes, it is.
And did you have any items with you? Personal items?
I don't understand.
Were there any items on the golf cart that you usually keep on the golf cart?
Yeah, some lawn tools. That's about it, really.
Okay. Did you have some wasp spray that you described?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
I get stung by bees often, landscaping. I really don't like bees. So.
Makes sense. Did you have any sticks or anything with you?
Yeah, I had a cane.
A cane? Is that yours or your mother's?
It was just a walking stick, really. Not really a cane, I guess.
Okay.
A neat piece of wood. So.
Piece of wood?
Yeah, it was a neat, like one piece of wood, but it was like a really, I don't know, just looked neat, so I kept it.
Okay. But
I do a lot of the movings that I do.
Mm-hmm.
I do a lot of clean-outs.
Okay.
The people are leaving and all that stuff. So.
It looked like a walking stick.
Yeah.
Now, what ultimately led to this altercation between you and this gentleman?
What started it all?
Yeah, what happened?
I'd say roughly 6 months prior to that happening. I used to go down to a lake in Brevard Bay behind the tennis courts
Okay.
and just hang out and talk and just hang out and stuff. And I'd seen him down there a couple of times, and we hung out and talked. And then one day he had mentioned something about, he said that he wasn't sure why they put names on children now, but they have ADD or ADHD or they're autistic. That that when he was a kid he called them retards, and that really upset me. I have my best friend's little boy is autistic.
Okay.
And when he said that, it really pissed me off. So I just, after he got a hold of me to go hang out down the lake or whatever, go smoke down the lake, or I just ignored him, and I told him, you know, I'm not doing that anymore or anything like that.
Okay.
And then he became really nasty. I have text messages from him. I'd like to either show you or
Okay.
show somebody. And so I just ignored him after that, and he really had a problem with me. He used to go fishing with my sister and my nephew, and every day they'd come home fishing. They tell me how much he wants to beat me up, or how much he hates me, or how much he can't stand me, and watch over my back and watch this and watch that because he's gonna beat me up. I don't know what his problem is. I don't know if you don't like me, you don't want to be my friend, I'm gonna beat you up. I don't understand that.
Okay.
So then he sent me multiple text messages that were very nasty. They were very nasty messages. So I ignored him, and I didn't bother with him forever. My sister would tell me always, I don't, my sister's a lot of drama, but I don't deal with all that kind of stuff. I just keep to myself. I just try to stay positive. So I ignored the guy. I didn't even bother with him. Didn't even let what he sent me bother me, anything. And the night of the incident, I was turning down Pinewood, and he was coming out of Pinewood. And he made a U-turn with his van, and he ran me off the road with his van. And then when he jumped out of his van, he grabbed the steel pipe, and he told me, "You're dead, mother effer," and he came at me. And yes, I sprayed him in the face with Beat Killer. I was in fear for my life. He had sent me threatening text messages.
I'm not asking you to justify. I'm just asking you to talk about what happened, okay?
So, yes, I sprayed him with Beat Killer.
Okay.
I was in fear for my life. He had a steel pipe in his hand, and he's a very large man. He's a lot larger than I am. When I sprayed him in the face, he started waving the steel pipe, and he struck me in the head with it, and he grabbed a hold of me, and he struck me in the head again, and he struck me in the head again, and he struck me in the head again.
Okay, how many times? Because you keep on saying that.
I'd say 4 or 5 times he hit me in the head with a steel pipe.
Okay.
I was down on the ground. The first time he hit me in the head, I grabbed onto the pipe, and I fell to the ground, and I just held onto the pipe with everything I had because I was bleeding all over the place. And then when he hit me the other 3 or 4 times, I was screaming for help for somebody. Somebody called 911. Please, somebody help me. And I guess a neighbor had came out and said the police are on their way, and that's when he got up and he left. And I got up and I drove away on my golf cart. I don't know why. I don't know if I was scared or whatever, just trying to get to my friends. And I got to Toby's house, so I cleaned my head up a little bit. There was blood everywhere. He gave me an ice pack. I went back to my house. And then about a half hour later, I went to the hospital because the bleeding wouldn't stop. And I was getting shaky. And I went to the hospital and received 18 staples in my head.
When was that?
I believe the 26th. I have it in my paperwork here somewhere.
Well, no, I mean, how many hours after the incident?
Maybe an hour and a half.
Okay. Was that before or after you went back to the scene?
That was just after I went back to the scene.
Okay. Why'd you go back to the scene?
I dropped my phone and my glasses.
Okay. And it looks like the police officers were there?
Yes.
Why didn't you call the police?
I don't know. I was scared. I don't know.
You were scared of what?
Of him, really.
Well, no, I mean, what about the police was scary for you about calling them?
There was nothing scary about the police.
Okay.
I was worried about him.
Okay. No, I'm just trying to figure out because there's different reasons people don't call the police or they do. I'm just trying to figure out why specifically
No,
you
I'm
did
just
not.
worried about him coming retaliating or, you know, he's sending a message. I'm no rat, but I have struggled with behavioral issues. Could I show you the texts that he sent me?
Just let me
Okay.
direct this. So basically, you went back to get your phone and your glasses, you said?
Yes.
Okay. And then after that, you went to the hospital? Which hospital did you go to?
Sebastian Indian River Medical Center.
Okay. Did anyone bring you?
Yes, my sister Valerie.
Valerie what?
LeMay.
Okay. She indicated she didn't have a ride today. Is there a reason for that?
I have no idea.
Okay. She's your biological sister?
Yes.
Okay. Did she call you to ask for a ride?
No.
How'd
She
you-
lives with me.
She
Stays at my mother's house.
How'd you get here?
I got here from my nephew.
Okay. Were you at the home at any point?
Yeah.
Did you see her today?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And she did not ask you for a ride?
I don't really talk to her. I really don't have anything to say to her.
Why? What's going on?
Because he's this guy's fishing buddy.
Well, I mean, she's listed as a witness in this case, so...
I understand.
Okay.
I just don't really speak to my sister that much.
Okay,
She's been living with me since November, and it's just becoming very, very tight situations. 2-bedroom home. There's 5 people living there. None of us are married. It's a crazy situation.
Okay. Well, just walk us through what's going on with you and your sister. So since this incident, have things been sort of tense between you and your sister?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
I just don't bother even pay attention. I don't give them any of my, and I'm not allowed to have any of my time or any of my energy.
Okay. But what about this specific situation is tense between you and your sister? I mean, is she saying other things about it? Is there something?
My sister's a very negative person. I just try not to be around her or try not to be anywhere near her. She's very negative, very down. And I don't know. I try to surround myself with positive situations, and she's just not very positive.
Okay.
She said she wasn't coming today. I'm not coming to that. They can take me to jail. You know, I mean, everything's just negative with her.
Okay. Now, did you offer her a ride today to come?
No, I didn't even tell her I was coming.
Okay. But you knew she had to come today?
Yeah. And I knew she wouldn't show up.
Okay. Now, does Christopher have a speech impediment?
I don't believe so.
Okay. Were you drinking or under the influence of anything that night?
No, ma'am. I don't drink any alcohol. Cannot stand it.
Okay, that's fine. Again, you don't have to justify why if you weren't. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, your sister brought you to the hospital. Where was Toby?
Toby was at his girlfriend's house, or going to his girlfriend's house. I was supposed to be meeting his girlfriend for the first time. What a first impression I made, let me tell you.
So did you ultimately go to Toby's house?
Yes.
Was he there?
Yes, but he was, I guess, getting ready to go back to his girlfriend's house. Because, I don't know. We were all going to hang out and watch wrestling, but then I was covered in blood, so he just went to his girlfriend's house instead. I wasn't into watching wrestling after.
So he left?
Well, he brought me to my home,
Okay.
my house.
You see why I was confused by that?
Right.
He just left you. Okay.
No.
So he brought you to your home, and then he went to his
And
girlfriend's.
then he left, yeah,
Okay.
to his girlfriend's house.
That makes sense. And then your sister was at your home.
Correct.
Okay, and that's when she brought you, or told you should go to the hospital, right?
Yes.
Were you heeding her advice at that point to go to the hospital?
Not at first, but after, the blood wouldn't stop, yeah, I decided to go to the hospital because I started shaking and I was getting real cold.
Is there a reason that you didn't want to go to the hospital at first?
I thought it wasn't, I didn't think it was that bad, as bad as it was.
Okay. And you said you received 18 staples.
That's correct.
Where?
I received 3 right here.
Mm-hmm.
I received 7 right here.
Okay.
And received 8 across this way.
Okay. Now the walking stick. Did you use that when you were...
Yes, I did, because the bee killer didn't stop and he was still coming at me.
Okay, why didn't you... Did you tell the police to use a stick?
Yes, I did.
Okay. When did you pick up the stick?
When he was swinging the pipe at me and the bee killer didn't work.
Okay, so after the bee killer, before he actually made contact with you with the pipe?
Yes.
Okay. And was it near where the bee killer was? Is that where you pulled it from, the same
Yes.
location? Okay. And how were you swinging it?
I just swung it like, I don't know, just like this, because he's coming at me. He's a very large man.
Mm-hmm.
When he said, "You're dead," you know, I would use anything to defend myself, really.
Okay. Did you make contact with him, with the
Yes.
stick? Where'd you hit him?
I'm not sure.
Okay, that's fine.
It was dark. It was a very heated moment.
Upper body, lower body?
I'm pretty sure upper body.
Okay. Did you hear a woman yelling out to you or around the area?
Yes.
Okay. What was she saying?
She was saying, "Help us on the way."
Okay.
That she called 911.
Now, she indicated that when she told you that the police were on their way, that's when you drove off.
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. I was scared.
Okay. But you know the police would be there to help you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just trying to wrap my brain around that.
Yeah, I don't know why I left either. I even told the officer, one officer that I knew from a different law enforcement agency, I guess, when he worked at the Atlantic Police Department. He even asked me, "Why did you leave?" I said, "I'm stupid. I don't know. I'm scared. I don't know why I left."
Okay. She also indicated that right before you left, you were talking to Toby as if he was there.
No.
No?
No.
Okay.
I was yelling for him because I thought he would maybe be able to hear me.
Okay. Did you ever use the name Chris at all?
Yeah. I asked him why he was hitting me. Please stop.
Okay. Have you ever had an altercation with Chris before?
Just from the text messages.
Okay, just in the text message. But that was after you sort of had a falling out with him, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before the attack, after the fall. Yeah.
Did you tell him why you had an issue with him, or why you had...
No.
Why you didn't want to hang out with him anymore?
No.
Okay. And you said he's your sister's fishing buddy. They're still fishing buddies?
No, I don't think so anymore, but I don't know. I don't really talk to my sister. I try to stay away from her. I get up in the morning, man, I feed my dogs. I do what I have to do for the dogs, and I leave because they don't. They just sit at the house all day. My nephew sits at the house all day. He's been out of work now for 3 weeks. My sister sits at the house all day. I didn't do zero anything. I got to go out and work because I got to help my mom pay for the house. And they don't do anything, so.
Is your nephew at the house now? Or is he waiting for you downstairs, or?
It's a different nephew. My nephew that lives with me isn't the one that brought me up here.
Oh, okay. Who's the nephew that lives with you?
Kevin.
Kevin what?
Kevin Salisbury.
Okay. And whose son is he?
My sister Wendy's, who lives in New Hampshire.
Okay.
Not Valerie's son. It's my other sister Wendy's.
Okay. Does Valerie have any children?
Yes.
Who are her children?
She has 4 boys and a girl.
Okay. Is one of her girls named Brittany?
Yeah. Yes.
That's fine. Yeah, it's fine. Now, these text messages, what was the nature of them? Or what is the nature of them?
He was asking me if I could help him out in any way, and I told him I couldn't. And then he sent me he said that he knew I was lying, and that he's going to watch for me, and I better watch my back. And he has behavioral issues, and that he's going to strangle me and then F me. I mean...
What do you think he meant by what you were lying about? Lying about what?
I don't, because I went down there, I used to smoke a little pot down at the lake, and I told him I wasn't smoking them anymore.
Okay.
That I wasn't doing that anymore. So he, I don't know, I guess he had a problem with it. I don't know if he's a bully. I don't know. I really have no idea what his problem is, but he obviously has one.
Now you said you smoked some weed down there. Do you use any other substances?
No.
Okay. I know you don't drink. Just
No.
fine. Okay. Did you have on a blue hat that night?
No, I did not. I don't wear hats.
Okay. Just police collected a hat, so I wasn't sure whose hat it was.
Yeah, I believe it was his, Christopher's.
And the wood stick that they collected, is that the walking stick that you're
Yes,
describing?
that's correct.
So what you said is he ran you off the road.
That's correct.
Okay, where did your golf cart ultimately land?
I just drove off the side of the road into a grassy, I guess, somebody's backyard.
Okay. And then he hopped out,
Yes.
and that's when you said there were threats.
Yes.
Did he have anything in his hand at that point?
Yes, he had a steel pipe in his hand,
Okay.
probably 3, maybe 4 feet long.
Okay. 4 feet, like,
Maybe 3 feet, I don't know, it's about this big.
Okay.
Steel pipe.
I'm just making sure we're on the same
3 foot,
scale here.
3 foot long, 3.5 feet long. Steel pipe about that big.
And then you said you had the wasp killer.
I didn't have that wasp killer until I saw the steel pipe.
We're going in chronological order here.
Okay.
And then you got the wasp killer, and that's when you sprayed him because of the threats, you said, right?
Correct.
And that's also when you struck him with the stick.
Correct.
Okay.
Because the bee killer had like 0 effect on him.
Okay. And then that's when he struck you with the pipe.
Yes.
Okay.
He struck me 2 hands over the head, down on my head. And that's when I grabbed onto the pipe because I really was in fear of my life. I didn't know what else to do. I guess if I held onto the pipe, he probably couldn't hit me too many more times, but he yanked it out of my hand and struck me, I believe 3 more times, but it could have been 4.
Is there anything else that I'm missing about this case? Details, specifics that you feel are important or pertinent?
Not really, no.
Okay. You have any questions, Mr. Joy?
I actually do on this one. Not trying to get you jammed up or anything, and I'll show counsel what I'm looking at as well. This is what's, I pulled up on my computer here, what's called EFACTS, E-F-A-C-T-S. I basically just ran your name, just kind of see, because I thought there might be some other things that could be.
I didn't know, like driving and stuff.
No, and you weren't asked about driving. You said, she asked, I think, something along the lines, and I'm not going to state it exactly because I can't remember, something about any arrests or charges. And I just want to know if any of these are you or not. If they are, great. If they're not, that's fine. Looks like in 2006, you might have had a driving on a suspended license charge.
Yeah.
Okay. And then...
I didn't know those were...
Yeah, I get that.
I thought that was just driving. I didn't know it was...
Well, I want to make sure
Okay.
we're covering everything just so that there's no confusion later. Looks like also on a separate case in 2006...
Oh, you're fine.
There might have been a resisting charge.
Yeah, I gave a false name.
Yeah, and then it looks like you may have pled to that and also paraphernalia.
Yes.
May I ask the disposition on the false name and resisting?
Well, there's what I'm looking at for record purposes. I'm only showing 3 counts. There's a resisting, a cannabis, and a paraphernalia.
Okay.
And there's according to EFACTS, there's a withhold on the resisting and adjudication on the paraphernalia. And it looks like the prosecutor dismissed the cannabis.
Okay.
And then I think this maybe you also a trespass in 2008.
No, I don't believe so.
Okay, might be someone else. And then 2013, possession of cannabis.
Yeah, that was 3 years ago.
And did you represent yourself on any of those, or did you have an attorney?
I just pled out no contest.
Okay. And you may have had someone there or not. My internal system at least shows that you had the public defender on a lot of these cases.
Okay.
Or at least on one.
I filed for a public defender, and then they just advised me to.
They gave you advice and you took the advice.
Right.
I don't want to know what the advice is.
Okay.
Okay, that's all the questions I have. She might have some follow-up for you, though.
Where was the assault on the elderly? What county?
Brevard.
Okay. Those are, you were just asking about other cases he may not have mentioned. Is that what you're asking about?
Yes. For helpful purposes, I'm looking at a felony case with your name on it, 1998 CF 17125.
Yeah, that was the, I believe, the assault on the senior citizen.
Yeah.
My mother's husband.
Although it's not testimony for our purposes, really, my system shows that it was disposed and it was dismissed.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, that's what he indicated. Now, have you ever been treated for any mental health issues or behavioral issues?
No.
Okay. Whether in school, growing up?
Okay.
No?
No.
Okay.
No, ma'am.
Anything else?
I'll just go over reader waive.
Okay.
In Florida, everyone has a right, if they're deposed, if it gets typed up later, to read the deposition and make any corrections with notes. You can't change your testimony, but you can look for typographical errors. Like if you said the light was red and it gets typed up that the light was green, you're allowed to make a little note. It doesn't change what they wrote down, but at least it's on there. That's the read option. If you'd like to waive and not want to be bothered checking for typos, you're allowed to do that too. And I can't give you advice one way or the other. It's totally up to you.
All right.
And you'll always have the opportunity to review a transcript if you need to before testifying at a hearing or trial. It's not like we withhold that from you.
Oh, actually, I'm sorry, I forgot a part. You kept mentioning, if we can go back, you mentioned that you wanted to show us some text messages.
Yeah.
Can you show us both?
Sure can. I saved them in my phone just for this reason, actually, because I said, you know, I really don't know if this guy's going to do anything to me. He had asked me if we could meet down the lake and smoke.
Let me
And my
swing around
response
so we can see them both at the same time.
was, this is my thing. I need to give that up. And then the green are his.
Can we
And
start higher?
Yep. No,
That-
that's it.
What happened before January 29, 2016? Where are the text messages there?
Well, they weren't really. They just kind of meet up at the lake, and I said, sure, I'll be there in like 20 minutes.
Did you delete the prior text messages?
No, they delete themselves. All my messages delete themselves after like 30 messages.
Okay.
But I just locked those in.
Okay.
Saved them because they were pretty threatening.
I'll let you navigate.
Give what? Well, you indicated you had to give that shit up a while ago. What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
just smoking down the lake and stuff. That's what I told him because of the whole, you know, retard mention comment. So I stopped hanging out with him.
Nobody can make me do anything I don't want to. What is he talking about?
I have no idea.
There's minutes in between. There's about 8 minutes that go between that text message to the next text message.
Oh, I don't know how long it took him to type out that message.
Well, were there any responses from him in between?
No, I didn't. I just let him ramble. I didn't say anything to him.
You can see why I'm confused by that, because it looks like it's in response to something.
No, he just kept on, like it was I don't know if it was a paragraph thing that he sent, if he wrote it all in one, if he sent me 4 different ones, I wasn't sure. But that's how I got it, so I was just like, whoa, this guy's got some major issues.
Okay. And then he's talking about controlling his behavior. Again, it sounds like it's in response to something. What did you have a conversation about something like that?
No, he just says I struggle with behavior issues, have violent tendencies.
Well, no, he says no one controls my behavior. That's what he says.
Yeah, no one controls my behavior. But,
Where is there behavioral issues down below or something?
yeah, I do struggle with violent behavior and just so much as the wrong effing look, and I will strangle and fuck you, is what I got.
Okay. And you don't know what this is about at all?
That's because I wouldn't meet him down the lake, I guess.
You don't know.
I would, if my guess were to be, it's because of the answer that I gave him, that he asked me to meet him down the lake, and I told him no.
What was the text right before this that you
wanna
did not
meet
save?
me, can we meet down the lake and smoke? I
Okay.
said no.
Why didn't you save that one?
I don't know.
Okay. Okay, because it looks like you have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 saved text messages from this phone number. Okay.
Is there a way for me to get like screenshots of this email to us so we can just have them in our files? Because I have never seen those before. If there is, we can do that all off record. We're still being recorded right now.
Okay. Yeah, I think you can copy them.
Okay, so I'll scale one more time because now I think we're at the end of the deposition. If you'd like to read or waive.
I'll do the read.
Okay. What's your phone number so the state can get in contact with you if they need to? Thank you. Okay. Thank you very much.